Okay, I was just thinking about this and like also to kind of stick in line to what I said in my blog where it's like, oh, I need to make vlogs a little bit more. I know it's like very crude and like like obviously like no makeup and bad setup, but I just want to build the habit of doing that and then allowing it to kind of like how like in writing sometimes you do free writing and then like kind of ideas emerge from that and then you kind of like sort it out later on, kind of in that same vein. But anyway, I do have like more of a topic, like rather than ranting and raving and doing all the stuff that I was doing before. I do have like something that I kind of would like to chronicle. Is not that anyone's wondering, but I do have like like the question does pop up, when talking to humans, like what do you believe in? Like what's your religion or your spiritual belief, blah 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 blah. I kind of identify as agnostic. Like there's something, but who knows? Like I think it's ineffable, and we can't quite pinpoint it. But for sure, I just kind of want to put it out there that like I do believe in reincarnation, 100%. And the reason for this is actually not out of like a hope or like something like that. I wouldn't say proof, but I have experience of such a thing, and I want to tell you guys about it because I feel like I don't want to say it's undeniable, but like it's very distinct. Like it's hard to counter this because it's like it seemed to have come from nowhere, but it was like hidden secret knowledge that like like that me, Kayla, did not have. And so it's like, how did this come about? Anyway, so as some people know, I quite like dream interpretation. I do value my dreams. You know, not all of us have the luxury of being able to remember our dreams and successfully chronicle them, usually due to stress and maybe not good quality sleep, something like that. I don't think it's like necessarily, and I actually feel like some people are lying when they say that because like they're just like, because maybe it was a nightmare or maybe they just they don't view it as valuable information, like they put more focus on their waking life, which is fair. Everybody has their experience. But for me, there was this one time. Well, it was a few years back, but I remember, like, okay, so for example, my ex sister in law, she said, "Oh, I had a dream about Jesus, and I was like kissing his feet and stuff like that." I can't take that away from her. Like, so Abrahamic tradition or at least Christianity is within her. Like, because like I mean, in the waking world, we can lie, we can say all these things, or we have like a constructed idea of who we are. But when we go to bed and we sleep, like it's on autopilot. Like we don't have control over that. So I feel like it's the most honest representation of ourselves sometimes, or it's all those like hidden truths that we try to tuck away and bury. So I do believe that like Abrahamic traditions and Jesus and stuff like that are a part of her psyche. So, that's valid. For me, I've never had such a dream of Jesus or anything like that. The religion that actually has presented itself the most in my subconscious has been Buddhism. And sometimes it's been like a hazy thing of like, I just saw like a wooden Buddha and just like staring at it and stuff like that. Like, one more, like, not like a full on story, but I do have one situation which makes like is more akin to my sister-in-law having the dream of Jesus and kissing his feet or whatever. I had a dream of like it was a gathering. It was like I don't remember like obviously the visible representation of it. Like I don't have like cuz some dreams I really remember it visually a lot. I don't really have like the thickness and the vividity of the vivacity or whatever. I don't remember it as strongly anymore. But the thing was, it was like a gathering, like all these people were gathering, and I'm pretty sure it was Buddha, and he was like having like like a lecture or something, like it was a gathering, and I would just kind of remember it. I felt it more on a soul level, like I felt like we were there, like if that makes any sense, like I said, it was more ineffable and not whatever. But anyway, so I woke up and I was like, because Kayla, yeah, I'm interested in Asian cultures, but I'm not really well read on Buddhism. Like I have no idea. Like I mean, other than you know, small information. Be chill. Yeah, basically whatever Alan Watts told me, that's what I know. you know, so it's like be chill. Maybe we reincarnate. Well, who knows? you know. So that was my general like mood and feeling of it. I decided to look it up, and I was like, and I don't remember what I typed in, but I looked it up, and it happened to be like when I woke up that day happened to be Magha Puha Day. And if none of you know the story of that, it's the day when Buddha called like 500 like his disciples, and they all like meditate. Like I don't even know the whole thing, but it was like a gathering, like a very specific gathering that Buddha did with all of his followers. And I don't know really what happened, but I was like and it blew my mind, because I was like, that was what I dreamt of. Like I was like, what? Like, and so I don't know, like was that a memory from a past life? Like was I a Arat or some shit? Like, I don't know. But, like I looked it up and I was like, "Oh my god." And so like for me, like obviously like people go argue it away or whatever, like, oh well, you had a dream, or maybe you looked it up before and you just don't remember and it was in your subconscious, blah blah blah. But it's like, yeah, no, I didn't really have that knowledge to begin with. So like, and it's so specific, like how many white people do you know who knows Maha Puha Day? Like, unless like their spouse or something, like, unless they have like friends or family who's like celebrating it and they tell you about it, but like that's not common knowledge. So for me, I always felt like that was like definitive proof that there's reincarnation. So like I might not be a Buddhist now, but I sure as hell was one in a past life. Shit, you know. And so that makes me think like, okay, well, reincarnation is pretty valid then, because it's like, like how do I explain that? And like I was raised, okay, so like my background, so also this is like I was raised Christian. That's my family's, like, my grandma's Catholic, my mom's Christian, everyone around me is Christian, basically. There's some Mormon neighbors. So like it's not even in the area. Like it's not part of my culture at all. So it's, you know, like it had to come from like some sort of like deeper place or transmission of some sort, like, like it came from somewhere, because it was too specific. Like, and like I've never even watched movies like Little Buddha or anything like that. Like I like, like I, or any like cartoons, or like I had no idea about this. Like I really don't know about the story of how Buddha came to be. I mean, I do know a little bit more now, because like, after you have a dream like that, and like I said, I like looked it up, and like, and then you get interested. It's like, oh, what the hell, you know. So maybe it was like a calling, like, hey, like, this is what you were. Maybe you need to continue go in that direction, like maybe it was an innate spiritual calling from the divine of some sort. But anyway, like, that's my experience so far of that kind of stuff. So, and I mean, just it's so specific, like I said, like I did have like some random dreams, like, like a wooden Buddha just like kind of floating in the abyss, like that doesn't really have any, like it does have a meaning, but it's more ambiguous. Whereas like that one dream of Mahapuha days, like that's super specific. So you know, and like I'm not the only one, you know, like there's plenty of people who dream of like, you know, some sort of past life or something, and then they have like veritable proof. Like, I mean, I don't have any proof of it. Like, that's such a long time ago. Like, you know, like nobody's living from that time anymore, you know. Um, and like, I don't know, it was like even before paper or something. Well, no, 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 I'm joking. But, you know, like, you know, it's like, I can't explain it. And like, and so many people have had experiences like that, you know, within their lives, you know, of like spiritual happening. Like, I do feel like it was like a kind of more on a spiritual end because it's just like, there's no rational explanation for it, you know? I mean, maybe in the future they'll find out, but like even if like in the future science verifies like reincarnation, like our little tiny cells or like whatever have like you know how like water contains memory. Like I think there was already a study done by that, you know, and if they show that like you know like there's like atoms have more data within them than the proton and neuron. I don't know. Like I don't know physics. Like I don't know physics or anything. But like if there's like a even more complex data within what we believe is already like the source of anything, or like you know if it's even more compiled and and complex than even at this current moment we understand, then you know like that's pretty significant. But but still it doesn't take away with the experience, you know, like it just explains the experience, you know. But but yeah, so and if anything like that's actually more interesting because you know like we believe like you know within religions and stuff, you know, we're like, oh, it's just a story. It's just a story. But if science does prove that there's like macro data within stuff, and like these are glimpses from the past, then that's actually even more comforting to me because it's like we can rest assured that those things did happen, even if it was long ago. You know, like the memory and the existence of that lives within us or something, you know, or lives within the earth, you know, or exists in general, you know, which is I don't know. I find that comforting. But anyway, that's my story. That's my explanation of I don't know, I guess my beliefs, you know, and like, you know, current days Kayla is just like binge watching tarot and stuff like that. You know, like who knows, whatever. Um I don't necessarily have like a strong calling to like go pursue more traditional and not like I mean like what should I say? Like it wasn't like a call to God moment for me of where it's like, oh, I gotta go do a Buddhist temple and become a monk, you know, like I don't like but you know, but it is thought provoking. Like it is like I have to acknowledge that, you know, like it that exists and that is a part of what we can determine as reality. You know, if it even if it's not a tangible part, it deserves that recognition and respect for what it is. You know, and I include that for like other people's experiences. You know, whether they've had you know, like for whatever, you know, the experiences of others that have had something on a similar end where it was this knowledge that came from apparently nowhere, you know? So, yeah. But anyway, that's my story. Quite short, but yeah, take care.